Hello everybody and welcome to a sped up video of City Skylines and Umber Bay where, well, because of recording issues, my volume was absolute garbage. I'm taking a class right now that's online and it apparently tried to connect to my recording device, and so it messed with the volume of the mic, and so I sound all blown out, and I did not want to have to make you guys listen to that. So I sped up the video and I'm just commentating over it really quick. And in this episode, we're actually filling out the rest of Mountain View. Just fixing up the terrain right there so it didn't collect water. But anyways, looking at the sign right there and being surprised that it's not different on all of them. And that is a stock building, which means that the people who made City Skylines did not use their own resources, that being the random ad sign, on one of their own buildings. So it's a little awkward. But anywho, just going through here, noticing that that area would not have any electricity, and then seeing how far the electricity could run out with that, then deciding that that's pretty much the midpoint. So that's as far as it needs to run out. So just trying to get electricity to these houses. I build the park around. And then I continue on, zoning up the housing. Right there's pretty flat, so I didn't have to worry about it a lot. But there's a lot of these areas where it gets really, really differentiated in the heights. And so I have to not quite build the section as big as I would have liked to. So, but anywho, I keep moving along, getting the whole area down there all zoned out. And then I come over here. I notice that the middle is kind of well, not immediately, but in a moment here, I'll notice that the middle in between the streets is actually lower than anywhere else, and that it's going to actually cause a pool if I don't fix it. So I do eventually go back to that and fix it, but getting rid of the parks that are not needed to get the power over there. And then looking around, I then get this little low density commercial in, because I like the idea of low, high, low down the main street, that the very center of the city is actually low density. And so it kind of, I guess you could say kind of like a New York feel. So where it has that kind of that Central Park-ish kind of thing, but not quite. Anywho, I get the high density in there, and man, do they go up fast. After I remember to unpause everything. I get some parks in here. I still do need to fix the range on them, because the range is absolutely ridiculous. That once they are balanced fully, and this is the whole point of developing and designing assets in games and games themselves, is you keep plugging at it until when you notice an error, till you fix it. I just haven't had the time to plug in any fixes. Anywho, I come back over here and then make a terrible, terrible mistake, thinking, well, we need residential like right here, when that's actually supposed to be commercial. So I'm going to be a little bit later in the episode coming back and fixing that so that it is actually residential, making a lot of actually high... oh, here's where I keep pausing it. But anyways, and see how I make them really small right there. It's because the change in height right there is so massive that it gets to be terrible. Oh yeah, and there's that little puddle. I wanted to make sure that that wasn't there, because this area is going to have trouble enough with water with the high density right there, that I didn't need that house being flooded. So anywho, moving on, putting in a couple more parks to make everybody happy. And this guy down here being just irritated at life, just trying to make him happy, and nothing works. So I'm like, really? I try to put parks in. I try to put more parks in, and he's just like, no, I hate my life. So I move on. putting in parks in the commercial area, then coming over here and liking how much there's a difference between the two roads, that the cliff isn't terrible. So I put the parks in to make it all nice, and then I do something else from there. Stay tuned next time. No, just kidding. This is continuing on. Anywho, so I continue to place in residential here, of which I'm going to have to replace later. But all those people, and I think why I put residential is I saw that all those businesses needed workers, and so I was like, oh, they need housing. And then I was like, you know what? They really need a way to get around. So I was like, okay, we need the tram line in now. And then I realized, oh, because the sound was going to bug the residential. And then I was like, oh, wait, but residential isn't supposed to be right there. Ha. So I have to get rid of all this residential and rezone it as industrial, put in some small buildings right there. I didn't like the cliff, so I made it a little thinner. That I thought was okay. So, oh, maybe I didn't. Okay. So that I didn't think was okay, I guess. So I pulled it back a little bit. Then I decided to put some low density housing right here, just because, well, that's what needed to come next. What am I looking at? I forget what to make sure that the cliff wasn't going to be terrible right there. Then I was like, what's going to go here? And then I was like, you know what? High density. It's going to be some small high density, but it's going to be high density nonetheless. And that cliff actually turned out really well. So I was really happy about that. And then I started because the workers were really needed to be there, I started putting in the high density back here. Right in the middle there, it got really, really steep. So I cut off a little bit of the depth of what those housing could be. And then I put in high density along the front here, but I do fade it to the back into low density. So, and right there, as you saw, I just kind of jumped away because that's where I was going to put low density. I was going to come back to that. So, anywho, a little bit of a steep cliff, so I put smaller lots going down it. And then the same on that side up until that point, in which I did change to the low density and coming back over to this side and putting in the low density that was meant to be going over here, and then cutoff area, because that cliff was going to get pretty bad if I put it out any further. And then very small zoning right there, because again, the cliff edges on the back there are really going to get bad. And it auto-zoned again. I don't know what's causing it, but there's something in the game that causes some of the unzoned areas to zone to the residential that's next to it. I don't think I've seen it with commercial, but definitely some of the residential. Anywho, continuing on, I keep moving through this to see if I can get all that zoned up. And yeah, seems to work out all right. But then I look around and then I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. We need the tram lines in here. Or I should be thinking that somewhere around here. Oh, I'm not done. Oh, that's right. I started complaining about how it was in Celsius and wondering why America still uses the imperial system. We're pretty much the only people that use it. The only real, not the only people that matter, because that's not true. There are like 3 other countries that use it, but we're the only ones with like enough influence. And so I don't know why we don't swap over. It'd be so easy that in schools that we just teach the metric system and start changing everything over. Anyways, naming the tram station so that we know what station it is, and laying out the tram. I was really kind of irritated because I had no turnaround. And I really wanted a turnaround. So I went over here and made this little off section to make a little turnaround because I really wanted something going down the middle and back. I was about to put something there, and then I realized that would absolutely ruin the slope of the road. So I was like, nope, I'm just going to have to put it over here. Anywho, turning on my precision engineering, right? That's precision engineering. Anyways, that section did not like how I was building it, so I decided to build it like that, but then realized that without it being a road, I didn't get the nice snapping, like how it snaps to 3 there. And then I just go around snapping 3, and then I realized that slope is way too steep, and I'm like, nope, I want it a little more level. So I try to level it off. It argues between 2 and -2, so I end up doing it at 2. But then bringing it around, then it slopes down on that side, so it's all complete. So I upgrade it, and then that section doesn't want to upgrade. It's like this game just hates me sometimes, so I have to delete that and replace it. But that's a really nice looking roundabout, and I was really happy about it. So I go about, and actually I might make a roundabout on the other side, off to the, would that be west of the entrance to the city? So anywho, adding the line in, I do add it going in this direction. If I do add the loop on the other side, I will have it going in kind of a different way. But anywho, it looks like that was about the end of the episode. So I'm going to say goodbye here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like and do subscribe if you're not already to catch the next episode as it comes out. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave those in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. Goodbye.